You know, when an officer lies under investigation, you can't trust them. And in fact, they probably should be fired and if not prosecuted for perjury. That's what happened here with Kevin Allen, according to this arbitration, for two other officers that had excessive force terminations held against them. But what do you do when the police chief covers it up and fails to follow the statute for what they're actually required to do when there's a moral character violation for excessive force? Or even the perjury. Let's take a look at this video. I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy it, where this attorney backs this police chief into a corner.
The comparables we intend to rely heavily upon are with Officer Allen and Officer Webb. There's also a taser incident that does support our argument, but those are the two main ones.
Okay, what's the race of Allen?
He is white.
Webb?
He is white as well.
He's deceased.
Well, he's deceased, but he was white as well.
All right.
Now, the interesting scenario with both Webb and Allen are that the investigator in both, they denied that they did anything. They gave statements to the internal affairs investigator. And the internal affairs investigator in both of those found that they were untruthful in their testimony. They did not take credit for what they had done. They did not say, I need to do better. They gave untruthful testimony. Now, before coming into an IA, they sign a document stating, I will tell the truth in this IA investigation, and if not, I will be punished. No punishment was meted out for that. Mr. Officer Webb received a 15-day suspension for his excessive use of force.
Is that a taser?
That was not the taser, no. That was strikes, if I believe, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
But I'll get into that further. And Officer Allen received a 1-day suspension. And he was found to have choked and thrown a person without cause. 21 will be the global profile sheet for Officer Allen. In Chief, as we discussed, one of the days prior, there was a sustained excessive use of force against Officer Allen, correct?
Correct.
And can you show me where on the global profile sheet that the moral character violation was sent in for Officer Allen?
It's not noted on here.
Well, let me ask you the elephant in the room question. Would it have been on here? Or is there a separate sheet that would show? I can't tell from this whether it was sent in or not.
So I'm not 100% familiar with how this part of it works. So
Okay.
the way my system is, I have an inbox, I have an administrative assistant, we have IA investigators. I sign off on things,
Okay.
and then I expect them to go wherever they go after that. So if there is something that didn't get sent that should have been sent, then we have to accept that, but I can't sit here and tell you.
Okay, and for these grievances, was that sent?
That's what I'll get into right now.
Okay.
And on Officer Potts' global profile sheet, you see where the moral character violations were sent in. Get it?
Then where does it show?
And it'll be the 4th down, Daytona Beach Police Department terminating for violating 943.13 sub 4 FS or moral character standards.
I think he was asking you if you saw that.
I see it noted here, yes.
Okay.
Now, if we go back to Harris's global profile sheet, you retired during the investigation involving misconduct, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And can you read me under her employment section, the 4th down, what it says the separation reason was?
What exhibit are you on?
This is Union 16.
It says retired not involving misconduct.
Every time an officer leaves the department, there's an affidavit of separation done. And what this attorney is trying to do here is find out why, in some cases, they will hammer the officers, but in others they're not. If you look at the middle box, this is the appropriate checkbox that should have been done because they resigned under investigation. And instead, it was checked that they resigned not involving misconduct.
24 is a blank FTLE Form 78. This form has to be submitted within 45 days of an allegation being sustained, correct?
Correct.
And it has to be per 4 excessive use of force it discusses, and we'll get into the administrative code in just a minute. And then on number 11, agency disposition, indicate the findings of the internal investigation by entering an X beside the appropriate for sustained violation of section 943.13 sub 4 sub 7 Florida statute or rule 11B 7.011. In this case, the internal investigation report form should be forwarded to the criminal justice professionalism program along with supporting documentation, correct?
Correct.
And this is Florida Administrative Code 11B-27.0011. And Chief, I'll give you my copy since it's highlighted. It'll be easier that way. You can just read me the highlighted portions.
For the purposes of criminal justice standards and training commission's implementation of any of the penalties specified in section 943.13956 or 7, certified officer's failure to maintain good moral character required by section 943.13.7 Florida State Statute is defined as, and then further down, the preparation of an act in a jurisdiction other than the state of Florida, which is committed in the state of Florida, would constitute an offense listed in this rule section. The perpetration of an officer of acts of conduct that constitute the following offenses, excessive use of force defined.
Okay. So that says that excessive use of force is a moral character violation, correct?
Correct.
We had discussed it not being sent in on Officer Allen. And we're going to go back here to Union 4 and the last 2 pages.
Okay.
And Chief Young, I'll just give you my copy for right now. What does that form say in regard to whether it's a moral character violation?
Are you looking at number 10?
I'll have to glance at it. 11.
It doesn't. Number 11.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't reference a moral character violation.
Okay, so the box that's specifically for moral character violations is not checked, correct? And that'll be on 11 as well.
What makes it a moral character violation? By looking at number 11, how can I tell that that's specifically referring to moral character violation? Is that the violation?
I guess I'm looking for the actual.
Yeah, and it's the sustained violation of section 943.13 sub 4 or 7 or rule 11B 27.0011, which is exactly what we just provided.
Okay.
So that
that's
states
what-
that it is a moral character violation.
Gotcha. And this one says not sustained. Oh, sustained. Okay, so that's an agency policy. Got it. Wait, there's 2 different things.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like sustained violation of a moral character thing would mean the box on the upper line would be checked, but instead, the box sustained violation of agency policy is checked.
Correct.
So that's what that's showing.
Correct.
That this one is not a moral character violation. Yes or no? And whose is this? Oh, Allen.
This is Officer Allen's, and this is part of the sustained use of force IA investigation.
But it is not the thing on the top line, 943. 13.4 or 7, that's not what was sustained. Sustained was a violation of agency policy, right?
That's what the form states.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And that's what we'll get into in just a minute here. So is that correct, Chief?
That's correct.
Okay. And he was sustained for a use of force excessive use of force, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And pursuant to 11B 27.0011 that we just discussed, that excessive use of force is a moral character violation, correct?
Correct.
So why wasn't it checked as a moral character violation?
It appears it should have been.
And now we discussed that, or you had discussed with the arbitrator that you fill these forms out, then you give them to somebody, and they're supposed to send them in if they're required to send
No,
them in,
I
correct?
don't fill them out. They're filled out by, I believe, my investigators. I sign at the bottom.
Okay. And do you review them?
Yes.
Okay. So once you've reviewed and signed it, stating that it's accurate, it then goes to somebody who looks for that box and sends it to FDLE if that box is checked, correct?
What is that?
The 11 moral character violation.
So the top one.
Correct.
Okay, so your position is that if that top box is in, it has to be sent to FDLE, the FDLE.
Whether that box is checked or not, the rules on the second page that we went over state that it's required to be sent within 45 days if there's a sustained moral character violation so that FDLE can review it.
Okay.
So if it went to your person who's supposed to send them in and that box isn't checked, that clearly states that they're supposed to be sent if that box is checked, would they send it?
Say that one more time.
Your person who sends these to FDLE, they send them if that box is checked, correct?
The upper box or the lower?
The upper box.
The upper box.
Supposed to, yeah.
Okay. And now, but for a violation, for an agency violation that the box actually is checked, you're not required to send those to FDLE, are you?
Don't believe so.
Okay. So, likely, and I'm just positing and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because the box was checked for it not to be sent instead of the correct box that makes it sent, it probably wasn't sent, correct?
Correct.
And the global profile sheet confirms that it wasn't sent, correct?
Correct.
Kind of that form back this way.
Okay, this one is
Thank you.
September 7th of 2022, is that right? That's what it said.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, real quick, who prepares this one?
The Office of Professional Standards.
This thing here, the thing that you review.
Yes.
And what is the Office of Professional Standards?
Internal Affairs.
Okay, Internal Affairs does that.
Yes.
So somebody in Internal Affairs does that.
Yes.
You know who prepared this one?
You took it back.
Here, I'll give you mine.
And the reason why he's having such a hard time finding it is because his signature is the only one on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one
Okay,
that's
so
assigned.
somebody from Internal Affairs.
Right.
I will give you the highlighted portion after he reads it. Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll trade off.
And this is regarding the duty to report. Can you read me the highlighted portions?
If the allegations are sustained and are violations of section 943.13, subsection 4 or 7, Florida State or subsection 11B27, the employing agency shall forward the commission staff the completed investigative package, which shall include the following no later than 45 days after the allegations are sustained. If allegations are not sustained, unfounded, or the officer has been exonerated, or the allegations that are sustained are only violations of the employing agency's policies and are not violations of section 943.13.407, the employing agency shall complete CJSTC 78 and maintain the form on file at the agency.
And then I'll have you trade this one after he prints it as well. This is the statute governing FDLE with regard to moral character violations. And can you read the highlighted portion, please?
Upon a finding by the commission that the certified officer has not maintained good moral character, the definition of which has been adopted by the rule and is established as a statewide standard as required by 943.13 subsection 7, the commission may enter an order imposing one or more of the following penalties: revocation of certification, suspension of certification for a period not to exceed 2 years, placement on probationary status for a period not to exceed 2 years, subject to terms and conditions imposed by the commission. Upon the violation of such terms and conditions, the commission may revoke certification or impose additional penalties as enumerated in this subsection. Successful completion by the officer in any basic, recruit, advanced, or career development training or such retraining deemed appropriate by the commission. Issuance of a reprimand.
Okay. So those are the punishments that FDLE does if there is a sustained moral character violation and it goes up for review, correct?
As listed here, correct.
The next, I'm not sure exactly where we're at here, will be 29, will be Florida Statute 837.06. And that is false official statements. Whoever knowingly makes a false statement in writing in the attempt to mislead a public servant in the performance of his or her duty guilty of a misdemeanor in the second degree. Now, would you agree that that FDLE form includes at least a false statement by omission?
Is it by an officer or by the agent, or by the city?
The Allen FDLE form, I'm just asking if it contains a false statement in light of an omission.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Would you agree that the FDLE form 78 for Officer Allen contains a false statement by omission of not having that checked so it doesn't get forwarded to FDLE?
He's talking about not checking the upper box for moral character.
I would
but
agree
instead-
that it should have been checked, yes.
Okay. So you would agree that that's a false statement?
Objection. Said it should have been checked. It should have been checked.
Yeah, it's not going to make a difference to my inquiry after it's yeah, go ahead.
Now, would you agree that Officer Allen received a benefit by not having it forwarded to FDLE?
Received a benefit?
Yes, sir.
What would that benefit be?
That he wasn't punished.
He was punished. Discipline was issued.
Okay, now he's asking you if it wasn't punished by FDLE, not you.
Correct.
So he received a benefit, correct?
I wouldn't look at it as a benefit, but
It was better than the alternative.
okay.
Now, I'm no lawyer, but it sounds like Attorney Bryan Lambert is setting this up for official misconduct.
Now, you had stated that after we went over Officer Allen's statements in the IA investigation, that he then had a meeting with you, and I believe your words were, told you the truth. Is that correct?
No, those weren't my words.
Oh, what were they? What did he do after he had not been truthful in the IA?
First of all, which incident are we referring to? Because we just went back and talked about, you were showing me forms from an incident that occurred back in, I think, 2019. Are we talking about 2019? Are we talking about 2021? Let's clarify which incident we're referring to.
The 2021 incident, I believe it was, wherein we went over the IA investigation in depth and reviewed the videos.
Okay.
And you recall that he made clearly untruthful statements, and the IA investigator found that he made untruthful statements, correct?
Okay.
And then you had said that he had come to you and told the truth, was what I recall. Well, let's just start over. So he made the false statements in the IA. What happened after that? You met with him, correct?
Yes.
And what did he tell you when you met with
He told me, to the best of my remembrance, that they had located some ammunition in the vehicle. At that time, another officer asked if he had searched them, and that's when he yanked him up by the back of his shirt collar, put him up against the vehicle, and conducted a search.
Is that Mr. Allen you're talking about?
That's Mr. Allen.
And that's what he told you?
That's what he told me in the meeting, right.
Was that truthful compared to what he told the IA, or in addition to what he told the IA? What made you change your mind?
Well, I didn't see that part in the IA
Okay.
until we pointed it out a week or so ago whenever we were here about that last paragraph from IA. So that's what he's referring to.
Okay. Was there a certain level of discipline recommended before your meeting?
Yes,
And what was that?
the suspension, a one-day suspension,
And what was the level of discipline that ended up being imposed?
the one-day suspension.
So it didn't change?
He grieved it and it didn't change.
Now, with the alleged misdemeanor battery, you reported that with Officer Tucker. You reported that to the state attorney's office, correct?
Correct.
Upon review of the IA investigation, where Officer Allen under oath in an official proceeding was untruthful, was that forwarded to the state attorney's office?
No, it was not.
Is there a potential crime there?
Him being untruthful? Yes.
And that's perjury, correct?
Correct.
So based upon that IA investigation and that report, perjury in an official proceeding could potentially have been sustained, correct?
Potentially.
So why wasn't that forwarded to the state attorney's office?
Why wasn't?
Officer Allen being untruthful in an official investigation?
I can't answer that.
You're the one that makes that decision, correct?
Yes.
That decision being the decision to forward it to FDLE?
To the state attorney's office.
State
This
attorney.
would be for a criminal charge, not the moral
Okay.
character violation.
And your answer to that, still yes?
So when I originally reviewed that IA, I focused on what I watched in the video and made a disciplinary recommendation based on what I watched in the video. So I missed that at the end of the IA report that he's referring to when the disciplinary recommendation was made.
Okay,
That's what he's
we're
pointing
still,
out.
We're still having problems with pronouns. What did you miss? Did you miss that he
So
made a false
so there's a statement at the end of Kevin Allen's IA where the IA investigator says he wasn't truthful about his version of events.
Okay.
I missed that part
Okay.
when I was making my disciplinary recommendation.
Okay.
So my disciplinary recommendation was based solely off of what I watched in the video.
Gotcha.
That's what my disciplinary recommendation was based off of.
Okay.
I understand that you didn't catch that the first time, but we spoke about that untruthfulness and I brought it to your attention during the prior arbitration hearing, during the prior day. Is that correct?
Correct.
And has it been forwarded to the state attorney's office since then?
No, it has not.
And you clearly know about it now, correct?
Yes.
Now, if we can go back to Officer Allen's global profile sheet, can you advise as to whether he was a defensive, or at least trained in being a defensive tactics instructor?
Yep, it shows 11/26 of 2018.
Is Officer Allen considered an instructor?
I see it under topic. Or yeah, I see it now. Yep, so under both.
Okay. And for it to be active, he has to actively train courses for his employing agency, correct?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure on that, if it has to be for his employing agency or if it has to just be, if it could be at the law enforcement academy. So I'm not 100% on that.
Okay. So, and both the sustained use of force that we've been discussing in 2021, and then I believe it was the 2019 use of force that was reduced, both of those were since he became an instructor, correct?
I believe so, yes.
So do you hold instructors to a higher standard than street cops that aren't trained instructors?
I think everybody's held to the same standard.
Now, being able to review Officer Allen's priors, that Officer Allen's an instructor and in fact a defensive training instructor, and having gone over a little bit his 2021 IA investigation again, do you still believe that his one-day suspension is consistent with Tucker and Paul's firings?
Do I believe it's consistent?
Yes, sir.
No, he's asking you, is it inconsistent with the penalty given to these two gentlemen? To give him a 1 day and to give them termination?
I still stand on my decision to terminate. In hindsight, looking at Kevin Allen, I may have issued a few more days off.
It does not get any clearer than this. This chief would have just simply given him more days off for a cop that lies under an investigation. Now, this was part of a whole entire arbitration where 2 officers who used excessive force were terminated, and this was the arbitration for it. But this little snippet here of this attorney backing this police chief into a corner that he can't get out of was amazing. But let me tell you, it's been about a year since this went on, and there is still no investigation, and that officer is still on the road. Thanks for watching, like and subscribing. Emails are in the bottom.